traveler's dream. Might stumble fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Glory, better people. The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we the name, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweet.
Good evening, and welcome to the third round of the second season of the Gran Turismo PHG World Series. We are here for splits 1 and 3, and I am joined by none other than Mr. Casual and Big Joe. Mr. Casual, how are you this evening?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm off for the rest of the weekend from work, so that's always a bonus. How are you, sir?
Excellent. Oh, I'm fantastic. Thank you. And Big Joe, I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but how are you this evening?
I'm doing great, TKs.
There we go. Doing great. Doing great.
I only save that for chat.
Oh, that's chat exclusive. He usually
Yeah.
says, can't
'Cause it's
complain.
Because it's in my auto memory type. So it's just 2 presses, 3
It's
presses, I'm done.
It's because he's lazy. I see.
That's
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, we are here tonight. We got to have both of these gentlemen in the booth during the week during qualifying. Our production crew is growing, and it is great to have some more people on the team to help us out. Salamander, whose channel we are on, please be sure you like and subscribe. He is running this broadcast. He is the producer behind the scenes. He's commanding the camera, the replay, and all the scenes. So big shout out to Salamander. He's doing a great job with this league. Again, this is round 3. We've already had 2 amazing rounds. Last round, we even had an extra split. Instead of 4 splits, we had 5. So clearly that was a very popular one at Interlagos. But it was great, and this week has been fun. Big Joe, have you been impressed with what you've seen these drivers do during qualifying?
Oh, yes. Extremely
Indeed.
impressed because there's no way I could get those times.
Yeah, it was rough. I tried to do a lap as well. What about you, Mr. Casual? What were you thinking about those big Willow quali times?
I think we got a bunch of sweat lords that need to get a life.
Indeed.
But
Well,
yeah,
this is going to be a fun one. We're going to be, for those of you who don't know, we're going to be at Big Willow. Big Willow. And here it is, our round information. For round 3, we are at Big Willow Springs. Get this, y'all. 25 laps. That's like 20 too many. 25 laps. 5 times tire wear. Racing hards and racing mediums required. Softs are allowed, but racing hard and racing mediums are required. Fuel, not so big on the fuel rate. Just ×2 on fuel. And then we are in Group 3 machinery. And as a reminder, this is a manufacturer's style series. So every driver has had to pick a manufacturer when they started, and they got to stick with it, whether it's Group 3 or Group 4. Last week we were in the Group 4 machinery. This week we are in Group 3. So this is going to be a fun one because this is not a long course. I mean, we're seeing lap times of 111, 112, some 113. So 25 laps. I mean, this is going to go quick. With the 2 tire requirements being required, you know, we're probably going to see some different strategies, some one-stoppers, maybe, if they can figure that out. But I imagine we see a lot of 2, even 3 stops around here. And Big Joe, if you mind explaining, these are the bonus points available each race.
Okay, so we have our fastest overall qualifier gets 5 points. Our pole of the split gets 5 points. Fastest lap of the split gets 5 points. Led the most laps of the split gets 5 points. And even if you just lead 1 lap, you still get a point.
Indeed, and it does need to be an entire lap. There's some weird ones with the with where the pit lane and all that stuff is. Some laps might not be actually leading the entire lap. It gets technical. And then I believe we shall look at our manufacturers. So I'm just going to look at the top 5 manufacturers here real quick. We have Genesis on top, which took that away from BMW, who is now in P2. Then in P3, we have Ferrari. And then in P4, we have McLaren. So that's got to make Papa happy. And then in P5, that's got to make Leo happy too, I guess. We have Mazda. And then I'll let y'all use your own eyes to see the rest of that. But we do have 5 no points, 6, if I can do math, no point scorers. They're at the bottom: Ford, Hyundai, Dodge, AMG, Audi, Hyundai. So if you're out there and you're thinking of getting involved, maybe pick one of these manufacturers that doesn't have any points yet. You can help them get some points. There is a link pinned in the chat for the website for more information on the PHG World Series. And then we can take a look at what drivers we have. This is the top split. This is the cream of the crop, as they say. Mr. Casual, do you mind reading us through our top split drivers this evening?
Yes. So in the top of the order, we have PHG Jorge Sr. in the BMW. And right behind him, we have Bobajito in the Genesis. And third, we have Naranjo in BMW. And fourth is, I think his name was RW.
RW, yeah.
Yeah, okay. RW.
Clever spelling.
Yeah. Also in the BMW. And rounding out the top 5, we got Jersey and Toyota. And then behind him, we have Cornbread and oh so lovely sounding Mazda. Then right behind that, if you can hear it, we got Wade in the Ferrari in 7th. And then down in 8th, we have Fast Cougar in the McLaren. Always loved the McLaren. And then in 9th, we have, is it J Senior?
It's J Senior or Jesser, either way.
Okay, J Senior is good. J Senior in Nissan. Then rounding out the top 10, we have Shaggy in the, as the iRacers like to call it, the Fifi.
The Fifi.
Yeah. In 11th, we have Spaz in a BMW, and behind him. In 12th, we have Sheldologist
There you go.
in the Nissan. And in lucky number 13, we have Rick Shear in the good old Chevy. And 14th, we have our other McLaren brethren, Ecstasy. And then last but not least, we have, I think that was Jacob?
JK85 is, if his name is Jacob, that would make sense, but we just call him JK.
Okay. We have JK and Lamborghini.
And the Lamborghini. Interesting. So that is the Lamborghini there at the bottom. And Naranjo is PHG Oak as well. So our fellow newcomer to the broadcasting booth and helper out on the frequently asked questions and other things behind the scene. Kevin Naranjo, PHG Oak.
Fun fact,
There.
I knew how to say Naranjo because I'm actually half Mexican, even though I don't really look Mexican.
There you go. There you go. Easy to spot. Easy to spot that J sound. There at the
Yeah, that
end.
catches a lot of people out. It's like they try
Wait
to
a minute. Wait a minute. Exactly. Well, those guys put in some insane times. Just looking back, I have the timing list pulled up. Oak up to Jorge in the 111s, and then everybody else was in the 112s. Like, that is insane. That like qualifying is so tight, and I believe qualifying is getting started right now. So we will take a look and see what these drivers are driving. One of the best parts about these leagues, in my opinion, is the liveries. It's a lot of fun. Big Joe, I know you've got some skill in livery making. And Mr. Casual, I know you are a fan of Hot Wheels liveries.
Oh,
do you make your Hot Wheels liveries?
Shoot, I don't got the patience to
Okay.
do it. So I take the easy way out. But I try to find some good ones out there. And sometimes I repost them when I'm picking one out on the, the GT page thing, whatever they call it nowadays.
And of course, both CBR drivers in food-related, well, only two in food-related liveries. Wade taking a step back, separating himself from the team a little bit, not going with a food livery, but I am into Fast Cougars livery. And yes, RW's BMW with the Nordschleifer on the side, very nice. The McAllen, brightly colored McAllen from Jorge. Yep, back in the Gundam Wing.
Yeah.
McLaren. We got the Schleifer livery from Spazua. Jay Senior in the standard Need for Speed movie livery. Then we got the PHG Supra from Jersey. Ooh, and that is like a martini livery right there from JK. I like that. That's classy. And then Dirt Devil. Was there a NASCAR Dirt Devil car? Anybody know? Probably, you would imagine. And that Cornbread's Camel. Cigarettes are not food. So the CBR guys throwing us for a loop on these liveries as we hop back on board with Shaggy Doo, who is on his hot lap now.
All right.
And look at that tire wear on the Ferraris. I'm surprised so this is going to be his first lap across the line. A 1:12.732. Does he and he resets. Now we are on board with Wicked. Wicked does a 1:12.888 and stays out.
Okay.
Who's next? Oak across the line. Oak takes pole with a 1:12.321. Ooh.
It's flying.
Fast and Furious. Jorge back on top though with a 1:11. His first lap was a 1:11.635. What is going on?
Man's on the mission.
Yeah, he is. He's like, hey, I'm the best, just so you know.
It's like, in case you forgot, it's like from the last round. It's like, let me give you a friendly little reminder.
Indeed, and we've seen this here. Well, looks like RW's already down half a second. Going to be hard to make that up. I wonder if RW goes back into the pits without resetting, but driving back into the pits to get a little fuel burn as we go on board with Wade, who has traffic in front of him.
Yeah.
But he might be getting a little slip, but he himself is also down a second. So, oh, and he's with another CBR driver. We know they practice together, they work together. I imagine both of them dive into the pits. Jay Sr. also down, and you can see that tire wear. Front left tire's done. Yep, and sure enough, Wade, Bobagito, Fast Cougar, Jay Sr.'s about to join them. So all doing a little bit of fuel burning, putting in a flyer lap, and then good again. We did see one of the strategies was your last lap is your fastest lap, and we saw that with Papa. As I didn't see who that was, runs a little bit wide, but we have Jorge Sr. now on a flyer. So I expect to see purple here as he comes across the, what were we calling this was the minor.
The mini big.
The mini big. And then going through here.
And then we had major big.
Then we got major big, and sure enough, he's purple. Is he able to improve in this sector? This is such a challenge.
Yeah, that middle sector isn't easy to get right.
No, it's not. And I think we've seen that dipping a toe, as we see Oak do back there, as we saw Jorge do. You're not going to improve going through there if you're not pushing it to the absolute limit. But it's so dangerous. And sure enough, he's
nearly,
up.
Nearly 4/10. Nearly.
Yeah, nearly 4/10 up as Oak is 4/10 down.
So he's going to be if he keeps it up, he's going to be a low 11, borderline 11 flat.
Ooh. Well, his qualifying time was 11.198.
He's looking for that 110.
He is. Oh my goodness. 111.284. Good luck, everybody. That's over half a second from RW.
I know we can't see it, but I would be curious to see what Jorge's optimal lap would be.
That would be a nice bit of data, right? If we could go through the MFD, that would be really helpful. But unfortunately, this game does not allow us to, because then we could see their fuel rate. We could see what TC they're running. As we look on board with Jay Sr., he is running TC.
Okay.
And counter steer and ASM. So he's getting all the help he can get because this is a tricky, slippery track.
Yeah, that TC might help tire wear a little bit.
Oh,
yeah.
Good point. Good point. Now, Joe, you would be running the Alpha around here, am I correct?
Yes.
And what do you think? We do have some Alpha runners in the later splits. What was your feeling when you drove the Alpha around here?
For me, I was running as hard as I could. I didn't have any assists on. I felt like I was out of control half the time, and I still pulled a low 115.
There you go. And RW was able to improve up into P2. That was a very nice lap. And you saw he ran off there in the background. And, somebody's going for a flyer. That was Jay Sr. reset to the pits before he hit Leo's favorite part of the game. Let's see what happens here. Jay Sr. coming in. This should have been his flyer lap based on tire wear, and he just pushes it too hard, immediately pauses and resets to the pits. I would have liked to see him make the jump, but I get it. But we saw that as RW ran well off the track there on that last turn, and sometimes that's what you have to do when qualifying to get the fastest lap. We see that at Road Atlanta as well, right? Like to get that time, you just got to push it, keep your foot pinned. Even at Tsukuba, you get that at Tsukuba as well.
Yeah,
Trying to keep it down.
The hairpin at Tsukuba is like kind of rather tricky because it's like, do you go down a gear or try to keep it in a higher gear?
Right. And I think it just depends on the car you're in, really. As we see, Cornbread is up. and he is going into big.
Yeah.
Their major big corner here. It's, words. You guys know words. You use them when you can think of them. And as we see that, I think Cornbread's going to improve here because he just kept his foot to the floor.
Yeah,
minor improvement. Yeah, almost a 10th, right?
Yeah, he managed to keep it pointed in a mostly straight direction, so he didn't have to try and catch the car.
Yep, and I think it's really when you rejoin, there's a part where if you rejoin, it unsettles the car and you instantly spin if you have your foot to the floor.
Yeah, I imagine it's probably because the tires are spinning faster on the dirt, and then once you come on to the tarmac, it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Yep, and you get that on tracks that have big curbs, you get that same thing. This track clearly does not have those big curbs. It just has sand everywhere. And I hate sand. I like the beach. I like the ocean. I hate the beach.
Oh, yeah. Because it's like, you quite literally need, if you're not wearing flip-flops, it's like, okay, good luck to you.
Yep. There's your sand. Enjoy for the rest of the week. Coming down here with Shaggy Doo has yet to put in a solid time, sitting in P12, and he was not improving. And this is going to be his last lap.
Yeah, he's sitting on like a 12, I think 6 something.
12-6, and he just barely dips a toe. He's playing it safe. Comes across the line. No improvement. No improvement. This is final lap for Fast Cougar. Currently in P8, and I like that livery. I like it. I'm a big fan of those colors. I like colors that if they were candy, they would taste good, and I would eat that candy. As he comes across the line, is he able to improve? Yes. Up to P5. Well done, Fast Cougar.
Barely in the 11s, but it still counts all the same.
Yep, indeed. Jersey coming across the line. He keeps it well within the track limits. I imagine that Supra on the dirt is more than a handful. Unable to improve from Jersey. Wicked able to improve one position. Ecstasy does not improve.
I think it's safe to say we'll probably be starting on the hards.
Yep, so hards and mediums required, right? So in theory, you can do one stint on mediums and one stint on hards, but tire wear as it is, I don't think we're going to see too much of that. I'm imagining a lot of two stops, some hard, medium, or maybe hard, medium, soft. Maybe start on the softs and see if you can pull a gap. What do you think, Casual?
So I'm assuming the tire wear is the same in the race.
Yes.
Because from what I'm seeing, some cars looks like they can barely make it 2 laps on softs. So I'm one.
Yeah.
Is the pit loss long, or is it a shorter pit loss?
It should be short. It's a short pit. Fuel I don't think is really going to be an issue. So it's just going to be a matter of tire change. Because
what I'm thinking is, whenever I do a race that has a short pit loss and you got multiple tires to use, something I would do is like be shortly. Yeah, real quick. Hold on, Mr. Casual. I'm going to read through these results real quick. P1 with the fastest lap of 111.179 to Jorge Sr. And then RW in P2 with a 111.433. PHG Oak, also in the BMW. That's a BMW 123 with a 111.822. Bo Bagito in P4 and the Genesis with a 111.920. Fast Cougar P5 in the McLaren with a 111.999. Just barely. I love it. Wade CBR in the Ferrari, the Fifi, with a 112.011. So close between those two.
Jay Senior in the Nissan with a 112.130. Cornbread in the Mazda with a 112.188. Then we got JK85 in the Huracan Lamborghini, the 112.445. Jersey in the Supra with a 112.510. Sheldologist in the Nissan with a 112.555. Spazua CBR in the BMW with a 112.591. Shaggy Doo in the Ferrari with a 112.621. Wicked CBR in the Genesis with a 112.808. And S&C in P15 with a 112.835 in the McLaren. All fast times. All very. There's a reason these guys are in top split.
Indeed.
And so, sorry to cut you off, Casual. I wanted to get through those.
You're fine.
Those things, but you were saying about the strategy.
I was thinking because some people, since it's a short pit lane loss, some might actually do a one lap on the hards and could possibly do 2 cents of mediums.
Oh yeah.
Because that's something you could do. Because if it was a longer pit lane loss like Le Mans, that wouldn't be viable. But with such a short pit loss, so I was like,
yeah, that would a hard medium or a medium hard or medium hard medium. I think that's viable. I do want to see somebody attempt this a hard medium or a medium hard strat. I would imagine if you go with the one stop, you start on the hards. Yeah. And then go to the mediums. That would be fun to see, but that's going to take some serious skill. And another thing around here, and Big Joe, you alluded to it, just how difficult it is to keep it on the track and be fast is, you have your strategy, but you dip one toe wrong and you're off playing in the sand.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you were going to do that, Big Joe, what strategy would you do? Before the race starts. I'm
doing the one stop.
You're doing one stop. Well, you'd be in the Alpha. Good on tires. And looky here, just in time.
Yeah.
It looks like we got ourselves a race start.
All right.
Jorge Senior starting off. It is BMW 123.
Yeah.
And then we got a Genesis.
And real quickly, hope everyone remembers cold tires.
Cold tires, and as we see, Jorge is on the hards, and the race is underway. Jorge Senior coming onto the proper racing line, and it looks like it's single file, maybe a few places back there side by side.
A little bit.
But going through here, looking smooth, looking clean. Nobody pushing too hard. It does look like Bobagito is applying a little bit of pressure to Oak, but not too much. Oak dips a tire, Bobagito dips a tire. And that is a tight cluster there as Oak and
someone
Bobagito.
That died.
Oh, we did have a spinner in the back, but we'll stay on board with these drivers up here. Looks like Shaggy's still in P12, and it is JK85 is the unfortunate victim of the sand trap. Let's see what happens here. Who could say on that one? He is done and reset back to the racing line. Coming back up, Jorge manages to keep over a second gap on double RW, and then Oak there with a good gap between him and Fast Cougar, and Bobagito has lost that place to Fast Cougar. Bobagito was in P4, now Fast Cougar up to P4, moving fast. I would like to see what tires Fast Cougar is on for him to have possibly... No, he's on the hards as well. Okay. So it's not a tire advantage. It's just able to take advantage of the opportunity given. But Bobagito back up the inside, making it hard for Fast Cougar, and he takes that position back. Well done to Bobagito. Yeah. That was a clean and not easy move to make there. But Fast Cougar's not done. Fast Cougar is all over the back of him, and we have the big major corner coming up. Yeah. And it looks like RW gets in the dirt, pushes Oak wide.
Ooh.
Can Oak stay on the track? No, Oak is off. RW continuing on. That puts Bobagito up into P3. RW falling down the order. Fast Cougar now in P3. Wade now pushing on RW. Oh my goodness, it looked like RW went off. That pushed Oak off, and Oak is nowhere to be seen. Oh my goodness, that is so unfortunate for Oak. It didn't look like anything intentional, but RW also, I mean, Dirty Tires and Cornbread is now applying the pressure. Once we get a breather, we'll take a look at what happened here. So we are on board with RW and Kevin. So RW loses it, goes off. He's going to come back across and push to avoid content. Oak goes off. So no contact made, but that rejoin definitely, in my opinion, was not a safe rejoin, but I don't think there was anything else he could do. He was just trying to keep the car pointed in the right direction, and that puts Oak all the way back into P11. That is so unfortunate. So Jorge Sr., the leader, Bobagito inherits P2 and is now pulling a gap on Fast Cougar with Wade CBR not too far behind. Holy smokes. How about that for... oh, no, and Fast Cougar's off. And does Leo a solid and gets a good 360 in the air, do a kickflip. Hate to see that Fast Cougar. Oh, my. What? This race is so hard. This race is so hard, y'all. Look at this. And this is the exact same space where RW lost it there. And then, no, he kicks it up, flips it around, and thankfully does not take anybody out in the process. I was about to say, what do you guys think about what's going on? And then that popped up.
I was going to say in the beginning, I was like, it looked like as long as no one made any mistakes, it was going to be a filling out process. But obviously, it took them a little bit to get acclimated, and then everything started kicking off.
Yes, indeed. And you know, when you think about it, I doubt many of these drivers did a lot of practice on the hards. Like, honestly. It's the slowest tire. Yeah, you got to use it, but everybody's worried about qualifying and then seeing how many laps they can run on the mediums. So starting on these mediums tires as Spazua takes a little poke up the inside. He's going to now have the outside, but no, Jay Sr. says, I don't think so. Keeps going. They're got to be easy on the power. This is where we've seen everybody spin. Jay Sr. touches a little bit of the dirt, again, but he keeps it on the track. And Spazua unable to pounce. But it looks like Shaggy back there is putting a little bit of pressure on Sheldologist. Shaggy in the Ferrari, Sheldologist in the Nissan, both on the racing hard tires. So it seems like everybody has started out on the hard tires. And big shout out to Shaggy as he goes down the inside, going for a dive. This is a late apex corner. No, he cannot get it ahead. But now he's got a good run going in. No, Sheldologist having that outside line.
That last corner is like tricky because if you go the outside, you can carry more momentum. But if you don't get it right, it's painful times ahead of.
Yes, indeed, Casual, indeed. As it looks like things have calmed down a little bit. We got P1 and P2 up ahead, and then it's the battle for third. As we have Wade CBR, Cornbread, RW, Jay Sr., Spazua, and Jersey all patiently waiting for Cornbread to make a mistake as he's hoping to blind everybody with his shiny gold livery there.
Yeah, the only thing that can make that worse is like a full-on chrome because that gets so reflective.
It really is. I can't imagine for the drivers in VR when people have liveries like that. That has to be so tough. And Wade CBR able to pull away now. So it's really a battle for fourth. Is RW eager to make up the positions that he lost? Big Joe, I'm curious. If you were RW, right, you go off and come back on and you know you probably caused somebody else to go off. What would be going through your head right now as you're trying to fight back those positions?
Basically, for me, I'm going to try to maintain my position and then hope that he catches up to me. And when he does, I'll give him back his position.
There we go. That's positive sportsmanship right there. Based on what we've seen, I don't know if he's going to make it back. That was pretty brutal loss. But
I've probably got a penalty coming my way when the stewards get done. So
right.
Yeah.
And we'll let the stewards make that decision, as it looks like we have a driver running a bit wide back there. That was Estasy in the McLaren, keeping ahead of the Lamborghini, but no, Fast Cougar making the move up the inside and around the outside. I'm sorry. Yeah, they both in the McLarens. There we go.
Okay.
McLaren on McLaren action here. S2C, Fast Cougar taking the position off of S2C. Let's take a look at that again, because that was really good. Outside, inside out, living the Vida Loca, as they say. As he just does the nice switcheroo there, is more confident on the throttle. And it looks like SSC knew he couldn't fight back and just settled back in. It is a long race. We're only on, well, now we're on lap 7 of 25. And nobody has pitted. It looks like, oh my goodness, the tire wear on Jorge Sr. compared to SSC and Fast Cougar is immense, to say the least. That front right off.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Cash.
I wonder if he'll do try to extend it as much as he can, or if he'll try to do 2 stints on mediums.
2 cents on me. That's what I would think. That's what I would think, Casual. Yeah. But how long will those? If these only lasted 7, 8, maybe 8 laps, if he goes 1 more laps, how long's the medium gonna last? You know,
if he does what I think he could probably go box maybe at the soonest, maybe into lap 8.
I mean, that thing is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a 7-second leads, right? CB Bobagito in the pits. He's on the mediums, so he made the mediums last. His mediums look just like Jorge's. Hards did. That is insane. So I could see him doing a medium, hard. I was gonna say if Jorge would do a hard, medium. As now we see Spazua and RW battling it out on track. And looking like they're staying single file at the moment, waiting for that opportunity. There aren't real clear overtakes as we see Spazua, just because he got the better exit out of the big one. He is able to take it up the inside. But this track doesn't have those heavy braking zones, as Spazua, just dips a toe, and RW not giving up it. They're taking the same line. They are in the same car. There's no advantage. Spazua on the mediums. Is RW on the hards? As we look here, coming around, RW on the hards, Spazua on the mediums. Tire wear looks identical between the two.
Yeah, it looks like
holy smokes.
Whole bunch box
as Cornbread stays out. Jay Senior stays out.
Someone's
Spazua in the pit. RW in the pit. Somebody's off in the background. Did not see it.
So I think they're going into the pits. Whoever it was.
And they're in the pits. Coming around. Everybody hard tire. A mad scramble and a gaggle of cars here. Bobagito and P10. In fact, Jay Senior did not pit, and that tire, and Jorge didn't pit either. So
he's
Jorge,
trying to extend it.
Yeah, Jorge, Jay Senior on the same strategy. Jorge's tires look a little bit better.
Yeah.
As they go, and everybody's calculating I did this many laps. I have this many laps to go. We've seen people go off. We've seen people spin out. You got to count everything to see.
It's just a matter of what is Jorge going to do. Is he going to do 2 mediums or another hard and then a medium towards the end?
Right, do a 9-9 and then the remainder on the mediums. Because I don't see him making the mediums if he's this worn on the hards. As Jorge does go in the pits, that awards Wade the lead of the race. Now Jay Senior goes in the pits. Wait, Jorge went in and is already out. That is a short pit stop. Jorge only losing 1 position with that pit, and he goes on the hard. So he is doing a hard medium stint. That's what I thought. That makes the most sense based on that tire wear. The drivers who made their mediums last that long, I think will do a medium hard.
Yeah. He had
or
that
medium hard
7-second gap to help in his favor, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, he had 7 seconds to spare, and then the driver right behind him did pit, so that was safe. So when Wade inevitably pits again, that'll allow Jorge to leapfrog him in the pits because he's only 2 seconds behind. And it looks like JK85 still out on those hards, making those hards work for him. Currently in P7, but yet to pit in the Lamborghini, another mid-engine car. And it looks like Wade CBR is still staying out on those hards. It looks like the Ferrari is really good on tires. Really good on tires.
It's got to do something well.
It's got to do something well. So, I mean, based on what we saw there, I mean, Jorge's already caught up to him. I mean, it's just a matter of time. They're not racing the same race. But based on what we're seeing on Wade, he could do a one-stop.
Awesome.
It's possible. See how much longer he can make those hards last. But I could see a one-stop coming from Wade, and which would be one less pit stop than Jorge. So, because Jorge is going to have to pit again.
Especially if he can get 4 more laps out of his hards, then definitely will be a one-stop.
Exactly, Big Joe. Yeah, that would definitely be a one-stop. And then we saw the pit stop is not long. It's not long, but that still is one less stop than Jorge's going to have to do, as he is now applying the pressure. And Wade is like, look, I'm in P1, bud. I don't have to get out of your way. This is not a blue flag situation. I'm going to keep you behind me as long as I can. That Ferrari's about to get real wide as they now go into turn 1.
In mind is the more he stays behind Wade, that dirty air will give him more tire wear as well.
Exactly. As it looks like a pretty big battle for P6 with RW. It's just a matter of time before Jorge gets past Wade. We'll see it happen on the leaderboard. But this battle right here is tight. 4 cars I'm seeing. RW, Spazua, J Senior right there coming around. Back on board. And it does look like Jorge has gotten by going into that middle sector. And it looks like it is into the only real heavy braking zone before they go up the hill. And sure enough, Jorge says, yeah, I'm faster than you right now. Better tires. Yeah, getting on the throttle going uphill in that Ferrari, not an easy thing to do with worn tires. As we see plenty of toes dipped in the sand. Shaggy Doo back there in P10. We got Spazua in P7 chasing down RW. But now Jay Senior's having a little sniff.
Yeah.
Little sniff up the inside. It is a long right-hander. You can carry more speed around the outside, and that's exactly what we saw with Spazua, as he's now going to pull away from Jay Senior, which puts him under pressure by his fellow Nissan driver, Sheldologist. And it looks like Sheldologist is going to make the move. They are side by side, P9 and P10. Or no, P8 and P9. There we go. They moved on me.
Pulls behind.
He sure does. Sheldologist able to take the lead. Well done by and by lead I mean for P8.
I think
and the Dirt Devil.
Current stint is the key to it is like who can lose the least amount of time.
Yes, great observation, Casual. As he is on the mediums, you're right. You want this middle. If you're planning to do a 2-stopper, you want the least amount of issues.
You can't afford to be fighting like lap after lap.
Absolutely. As they continue to fight, because now Sheldologist putting the pressure on Spazua. It was Jay Senior the lap before. Now it's Sheldologist this lap. Another sniff around the inside, but Spazua already knows. No! Sheldologist carrying the speed. Spazua trying to hold on. And he goes off! He goes off. He's done. He's off into the desert, trying to keep that speed. Oh my goodness!
It didn't look like there was any contact.
No.
He went off. Looked like
he just trying to carry it around the outside. Too much speed. He made it work last lap, and unfortunately can't do it this lap. But talk about a ride through the sand.
Yeah.
As Spazua now down into P12. And he's got a battle behind him between JK and Wicked, 2 CBR drivers. applying the pressure to each other with S2C bringing up the rear in P15. So JK on the mediums. We saw a lot of drivers go hard mediums. Some drivers go hard. And I'm curious, can we take back to S2C real quick? And oh, never mind. This answers my question. Stay on Fast Cougar. Seeing who's going for the one stop. Here it is. Fast Cougar still on the hards that he started with. It is lap 14 of 25. Wade CBR's having to come in on the hards. And I think, yes, and Fast Cougar's coming in on the hards. I don't see them making the mediums last to the end. That's 10 laps.
Unless he's doing a hard.
Well, no, you have to use the mediums.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I guess it's only 10 laps. He did 15 laps on the hards. Let's see here. As Wade and RW start to battle it out, they are a 10th off each other. RW goes up the inside. Yep. Wade on fresh, brand spanking new mediums, probably having a little trouble getting it up to temperature as RW has some relatively worn hards. And now Sheldologist applying the pressure to Wade. Also on, well, very worn medium. So I would think we see Sheldologist come into the pits here pretty soon as he goes kind of around. Ooh, yeah.
If he wanted to, he could do another lap.
Yeah, he definitely could. It's going to be tough. I think it would depend, can he clear Wade? Because if Wade's just going to be in his way, that's just really going to slow him down. That's really going to slow him down. And he just needs to do one more stint. So either switch back to the hards or the mediums. But based on this line, yeah, he's in. He's in. So this is Shell's last pit. We'll stay on board with Wade. Shell on the mediums. Wade applying pressure now to RW. He's got those mediums up to temperature. And now what seemed like an easy overtake for RW is going to be a difficult defense. Because Wade is coming as they come into the braking zone, into this left-hander uphill, and Shaggy Doo also starting to apply pressure to Jay Sr. Shaggy on pretty worn hards.
Yeah.
I believe we'll have to pit again. I'm not sure if I can't remember if he's taking care of all his tire requirements. Again, all tires are available, but the mediums and the hards are required. So a lot of drivers were using these softs, and what a great shot we have there of all those cars snaking through. That looked great. I do want to take a moment before any more action ticks off here. I'm sure it's going to. There is a link pinned in the chat. That is for the PHG website. All the information for Papa's House of Game, the World Series, the channel, the community, it's all on that website. Check out that website. Big shout out to Shaggy Doo, who's racing in this race. He is the one who put this thing on, and it was his idea. Big shout out to Salamander, who's running this stream right now. If y'all are enjoying this, please like and subscribe to Sal's channel. He is oh so close to 500, and that would be so epic to get him to 500 during one of these streams. So please be sure to do so. I am joined by Mr. Casual and Big Joe, both who stream, so go check them out. Big Joe, what are you thinking so far in this race?
It could be anybody's race because you never know when you're just going to go 1 inch too far and your race is over.
Yeah. Excellent. Well said. Well said. RW here in P4 with Wade still applying pressure. So we have Jorge Sr. in first, Bobajito in second, Cornbread in third, and then we have that gaggle right here, RW. What do we think about the McLaren driver, S2C, Fast Cougar, doing that one stop? Do you think they'll be able, because they started more towards the back, are they going to be able to jump? Jay Sr. in the pits on the hards. What do you think, Casual?
I think if they can work together, and if the others in the someone I think got reset on the straight.
Oh, that's terrible. But Wade is applying the pressure. This might be the overtake move, Kenny, because the outside will become the inside. No, he tucks back in. Easy on the throttle. It's so easy to lose it there. He is on the mediums.
Yeah.
Small dab of the brakes. Don't want to go into the back of him. And here's where we've seen RW on the first lap or second laps lose it right there. So you know they are very cautious. And
But yeah,
y'all look at that in the back. Hold on. P7 Oak. He's not too far off now. RW, which was the reason he had fallen back in the first place. Okay, continue on, Casual.
But I was thinking if both SC and Fast Cougar can work together more than everyone else, then there's a possibility that
It was close. Sorry about that. RW and Shaggy almost went into each other going into the pits as Wade now inherits P3. Cornbread now coming out of the pits. All right, keep going, Casual.
But yeah, I was like, because it's been in their best interest to work together if they're together. Because obviously being the same manufacturer, it's like, well, I might as well help out my fellow teammate. So
Yeah, that would make sense, but they are kind of far apart from each other, it seems. So if they do have the opportunity to work together, I'm sure they will, as Oak is now under pressure, and we got Sheldologist here in P6 on the hard.
Wait, I wonder if he got disconnected, because I think I seen
did he just leave the lobby?
Yeah.
That is possible. That is possible.
Because I think Wade could have put it up.
Looks like RW is ghosted as well, as Shaggy just kind of interesting. And you gotta love lobbies. Bobajito now in the pits in P2. Can Cornbread leapfrog Bobajito? I don't think so. Well, maybe. Look at that tight pack of cars. Cornbread, Oak making the move around the outside. Here he comes into turn one. Can he be? No, he's not. Last of the late break moves.
Out of it.
Indeed, and Cornbread is right there with Fast Cougar wanting to pick up the scraps, but he thinks better of it, backs out. Cornbread continues on, and now Kevin falls back into Fast Cougar's clutches. Fast Cougar, if I'm understanding this correct, is on the one stop. Not sure if Oak has to pit again or not. Yeah. So this could be a moot point. A moot point here, but track position is his tires are done. Jorge in for his final stop, so he'll come out on the mediums. As there's nothing Oak can do. He's trying to hold on, but that front left is gonna hurt around this big turn. Fast Cougar up the inside, and looks like he's gonna keep it.
Cleared him.
And I think we'll see Oak hop into the pits here.
Yep.
And sure enough, there he goes for his final pit stop. I think we'll see a few cars. No, they all stay out.
Okay.
We got 5 laps to go. It's on. It's on.
Oh, we got a trio of PHG members from, I think, 4th to 6th.
There we go. That's what we like to see. And then we got a good battle here with RW bringing up the rear. Remember, they did start, I believe it was P2, and had that incident with Oak, which caused them to fall way back. So eager to make some moves as Shaggy Dewsters makes a great move on Sheldologist. That was tight. Well played by Shaggy. He's trying to get a move on the mediums in
because
P5.
it looked like he broke too late, and he made the best of that scenario.
Yep, as Shaggy goes around the outside, Sheldologist goes a little deep. He's able to get the cutback perfectly and say please and thank you and move along. Shaggy started towards the back, up into P5 now. Very nicely done. Jorge Sr. still in the lead. Sheldologist now under pressure from Jay Sr. And Jay Sr. looking like he gets a better exit, but Sheldologist is going to hold the inside and force Jay Sr. around the outside. Let's go. Sheldologist late on the brakes. He doesn't want another switcheroo, but it looks like it's going to happen again. No, he's able to keep it. Now Jay Sr. around the outside. No, he tucks back in to cut back on the inside, and it gets switcherooed again. Sheldologist losing 2 positions there in 1.5 laps. Now Jay Sr. taking P6 off his hands as they go into the tight, twisty bits, and that is allowing Shaggy to pull away. And Sheldologist is on worn hards, while Jay Sr. on much fresher mediums. So that would make sense why the switcheroos have been happening as they have, as we look on board with Oak with nice fresh mediums coming out of that second sector. He's got a car ahead, Spazua, that he would like to chase down. Spazua on slightly worn mediums, but we're getting closer and closer to the end of this race.
Oh, yes.
And it's going to be interesting to see if Fast Cougar is going to be able to make that one-stop work. I'm not even sure what position they're in, but they're somewhere.
Looks like most everyone has kind of spread out towards this end of race.
Fast Cougar P4, but his mediums are very, very worn. He's going to have to make them last, and he's got Shaggy not far behind, only 3 seconds behind on much fresher mediums. Well, I say much fresher. I take back the much, but they are fresher. And he is closing that gap as Jorge has just, I mean, that's 14 seconds, y'all. Fastest lap of a 1:11.947. I mean, he's gone. He could pit again and put on some softs and really solidify that fastest lap, but I don't think he's going to do that. Bobagito on the mediums. Bobagito's fastest lap is a 1:12.504 in that Genesis. Coming around, trying to make it clean. And that's another cornbread for the podium at the moment on mediums. Fast Cougar doing the no-stopper on the very worn mediums. And Shaggy Doo pushing it hard. Goes off the track but keeps it on. He's on the mediums as well. Let's see that again. And it's just a case of, did he turn in a little too late? Oh, just understeered off. But he kept it straight. Got that traction control, keeping him safe. Going on there in P5. But that has allowed Jay Sr. to catch up a little bit. And luckily there's only 1 lap left after this one, because those tires do not look good for Jay Sr. on the mediums. Sheldologist on the hards, and then right behind him we have Spazua and Oak. Oak has been able to catch up to Spazua and is going to apply the pressure. Oak wants the position. He's pitted way later than Spazua, so his tires are much fresher. Let's see if he can do something around that big boy here at the end. The big Major General, as it's been known to be called. Coming around. He's going to have to go around the outside of Spazua. They are in the same car. What is Oak going to do? Is he going to be patient? They're going to have 1 more lap left. Come around the corner, heavy on the throttle. Look at that drive that Oak has on Spazua, clearly carrying more speed. Going in, and it looks like he gets the move done before the... No. He stays out. Gonna have to go around the outside. Spazua squeezing him a bit. Just giving him just enough room to be fair, but look at that tire advantage. Look at that grip he's got and the confidence he has. Oh, but Spazua runs him a little bit wide. Oak is able to stay on. I mean, there was technically space there, but there just was not a lot to be going at that speed. Indeed. Coming up, Jorge crossing the line. P1, Jorge. And the fastest lap with a 1:11.776. Then we have Bobagito coming around the final corner. Bobagito coming across the line. Can he keep it on the track? He does. And he is able to finish the race in P2. Well done, Bobagito, taking advantage of those early incidents. And then same with Cornbread coming across the line, P3. That is our podium. Fast Cougar doing the one-stopper, making it happen. Same with Shaggy Dooster and P5. Well done. And it looks like we're going to get a drag race across the line. Sheldologist, this Spazua, then Oak. Holy smokes. And then we have another RW across the line, P9. Jay Senior P10 coming up next for P11. Wicked quick with Jersey not too far behind. Jersey goes off the track, gets it back on. That's P11, P12. Then we have SSC with a dead front left. And he comes across the line ever so peacefully to finish P13, as we did lose one driver. Or no, we lost two drivers during that. We had 15. Unfortunate, we had an engine failure, if you will, because of Wade Gain crashing. And that's victory, pole position, and clean race. And as we know, fastest lap from Jorge. Big Joe, can you please read us through this, the race results?
Yeah, we had Jorge Sr. finishing in first with a 111.776. Bobigito in second with a 112.504. Cornbread in third with a 112.711. Fast Cougar in fourth with a 113.338. Shaggy Dew in fifth with a 113.331. Sheldologist with a 113.898. Or 96, or wait a minute. 696. Spazula with a 112.736. Oak with a 112.462 for fastest lap. Ninth, we had RW with a 112.787. J Senior with a 113.548, finishing out our top 10. Wicked came in 11th with a 112.382. Jersey came in with a 113.116. Ecstasy came in 13th with a 113.760. And JK and Wade were DNFs.
Wow. That was something. That was
my goodness.
Yeah, my goodness indeed. Reflections, Mr. Casual. What were you surprised by anything? Did it play out to how you thought?
Well, I was going to say, well done to Fast Cougar for making the one stop work, because even though the McLaren has great tire wear, it suffers on acceleration. So that's why sometimes you've seen like the Genesis just plain go around it, because the Genesis is one of the better accelerating cars. But yeah, it's a bit of give and pull with something like the McLaren. It's like you can't give it everything, so it's like you gotta nerf it in some way. And Jorge, I was like, I think he's how quick he is. He needs to sign a contract with Bill sign like Super GT and
Like
Jimmy.
Super GT, yeah, for sure.
Dude. But,
for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a quiet race at first, because the first two laps it was like no drama for the most part, and then it started kicking off once people started pushing a bit more.
Indeed. And Joe, do you have any thoughts, reflections on what we saw?
Basically that my strategy that I have working in my head is going to work for me.
There you go.
I'm going to do the one stop, but my number one priority is to keep it on the track.
Awesome. Yeah, keeping it on the tracks. And so let's pick a driver from this split. I'm going to start because I have mine, and it's Shaggy Dew. Incredibly, he started 13th and finished 5th, and he made it look easy, if I'm honest. So that's going to be my pick. Mr. Casual, do you have a pick for your driver of this split?
I would say it would end up being Fast Cougar for being able to make the one stop work. Because it's not easy to do that. Even with a car that can do it, it's like you still gotta drive within yourself and not overdrive the car. Because if you overdrive at Big Willow, it's going to be a painful race for you.
Indeed. So we have Fast Cougar, we got Shaggy Dew. You can agree with one of those, Joe, or you can pick another one.
I'll I'll pick our fellow commentator Oak for being off the track lap 2, was it? I think, and fighting back to be in the top 10.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like that. I like that. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. We have one more split. We have split 3 coming up. We're going to take a quick break because us commentators need to do stuff and they need to get the next lobby set up. So don't go anywhere. Please vote. There's a vote up for driver of this split. Shaggy, Jorge, who won, and then Fast Cougar and Oak. Go ahead and vote on that, and we will be back shortly.
The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we've been named, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people.
welcome back for split 3 of round 3 of season 2 of the GT PHG World Series. I am back here with Mr. Casual and Big Joe. We had quite the exciting race to start with. We'll give you guys a quick refresher of what we are doing tonight. We are at Big Willow Springs. This is round 3 of season 2. 25 laps, which went by surprisingly fast. I must say, I expected that race to last a little longer. 5 times tire wear. All tires are available, but the racing hards and racing mediums are required. 2 times fuel, and we are using Group 3 cars. And these are the manufacturers that they chose. So this is a manufacturer style series. So what you pick at the beginning is what you use the entire season, whether it's Group 3 or Group 4. Big Joe, do you mind reading us through split 3 real quick of who's going to be racing?
We have Racer 51 in the Mazda. We have Metal in the Nissan. We have Pablo Chacon in the Lamborghini. Dirt McGirt in the Lamborghini. We have Geezer Gears in the Ferrari. We have Vetter Dan in the Chevrolet. We have Root in the Genesis. We have Old Man Pip in the Renault. We have Evolved in the Genesis. We have Stratos in the Lambo. Leo in, of course, the Mazda. Speed Bump in a Honda. We have T-Rex, my fellow manufacturer, in the Alpha. And we have Iron Fix in the Audi.
Awesome. And a couple names out there. Geezer Gears is also known as Turtle Shell, and T-Rex is also known as MF Wesley. Okay. It's always good to associate all those names. Well, gentlemen, we just watched an absolutely incredible race with multiple strategies, whether it was hard, medium, medium, or we saw it work, hard, medium. Big Joe, you're an Alpha driver. What are you thinking T-Rex is going to do here?
If he can keep it on the track with the tire wear, hopefully he's planning on a one-stop with that. He should do quite well if he can keep it on the track.
Buddy, oh buddy. And Mr. Casual, if you were in this race, you would have watched that first split, and then now you're going to enter this one. What would you take away from watching the top split, the fastest drivers going into this race?
Well, I would say if you're not familiar with Big Will, it definitely behooves you to actually put in time to at least get somewhat familiar with Big Willow. Because if you can keep it on the black stuff, then you're in pretty good shape. But yeah, I think it's refreshing to see a race where there's multiple strategies to do, as opposed to what I'm used to with the dailies, where it's like, all right, everyone do the same thing and just become a sheep.
Exactly. And again, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. Shout out to Shaggy, because this is the 3rd race of the season, but we had 4 splits week 1, we had 5 splits week 2, I believe we have 4 splits again now, and it's been an exciting, close, and multi-strategy race every single time. It didn't get to the point that by the last race everybody did the same thing, which is what you see in the standard GTWS, which is everybody watches the first couple splits, gets the idea of the perfect strat, and that's what you do. It's not like that. It's not like that quickly, at all. Yeah.
Congratulations to Shaggy for winning driver of the race for split
done.
1 with 33%, and behind him was Jorge with 29%. And in third was Fast Cougar with 22%. And last but not least was Oak with 14%.
So I won, right? Because he was my nomination.
Yeah,
I won.
Right.
I will take credit. Good job,
Yeah,
me.
everyone looks up to Travis.
But looking at those
Production
races
manager
and what
cookie waiting.
exactly, as long as it's Great American Cookie from the mall, I'm happy. A double doozy, please, with M&Ms. I mean, just talking about that though, with the way Shaggy put these races together, it's been so fun to see it all play out. And as a commentator, like this has been a dream. It's been so cool to see. And another unique thing about this series that isn't like the regular Gran Turismo series is they qualify during the week. So all these drivers have qualified 10 minutes at this track, just like they're doing before the race. And that qualifying puts them in the split. And that's how these races are able to be so close from split 1 all the way to split 5, because the drivers are all roughly the same speed. Yes, indeed. Okay. They're all roughly the same speed. So, not every driver is going to be in the top split. It might be different week to week, but I believe qualifying is getting underway. Yes, we have Vetterdan in his blue Corvette, Team Corvette, livery designed by our very own Salamander for Team Chevy. And then Vetterdan has added a few Mario themes. I see my Rainbow Leopard on there. Some fun stuff to make it his own. And then we have Iron Fix. Oh, that's awesome. I like that.
Okay.
In the R8. You don't see a lot of R8 drivers. Oh, no. Papa's going to like this one. We got Dirt McGirt in the Hooters Lamborghini, evolved in his classy Genesis. I like.
Are you saying Papa likes the car or Hooters?
Hooters. Papa uses a Hooters livery as well. You'll see it. He qualified in also his McLaren in a Hooters livery. As he says in the chat, Hooters! Yeah. And then we got Metal Speed Bump in the orange Puma in the Honda NSX. That's a good looking Honda right there. And then we got Real Squad, RSR. That's what RSR stands for? I mean,
Real Squad Racing, yes.
I thought it was Real Slow Racing. I missed out. Pablo Chacon looking good. Then we got Root in the Ghostbusters. Careful, y'all. Root cheats. And then, of course, big head, little arms, T-Rex arms, MF Wesley in the Jurassic Park. Then we got Stratos in the standard Lambo Live. Geezer Gears, a.k.a. Turtle Shell, in the PHG Ferrari. Old Man Pip and the Renault. AARP, Viagra, getting older, things you need to take care of. We got another gold livery in the Mazda. Goodness. Leo just ripping. I'm so thankful we do not have audio in the booth. Because I don't want to hear that thing. So Vetterdan on his flyer. But he's got CBR right behind him there. Dirt McGirt putting pressure. Vetterdan dives into the pits. That's going to give Dirt his first lap of the day. And it is a 113, quickly surpassed by Evolved with a 112. And then Racer 51, of course, with a 112.431. So we have Racer 51, Evolved, Speed Bump, Dirt McGirt, Pablo Chacon, Iron Fix, Metal, Root, and Stratos. Top 9 there. So Racer 51 currently in P1. Surprise, surprise. I'm actually surprised he's in split 3, if I'm honest. He is typically a split 1 driver, but it could be a course. Yeah.
Okay.
Split 2 and 4 run on Saturdays, and so he had to drop down a split.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
It really depends on the track. It's like you can be quick at one track and then be like, oh my goodness, where did all the pace go at another round? So it's just really depends from week to week.
Yes, indeed. It really does. Leo in the Mazda, and that's another fun thing. Like we were saying earlier, like the way the splits are decided and it's not set for the whole season, as it looks like we got a driver
Ooh,
just kicking up dust there. P12, I think that
P12,
was.
Yeah.
That is Stratos. I wonder what happened there. Maybe just carrying. Oh, he's just drifting.
Yeah.
He got on the throttle.
Looks
That Group 3 Lambo is mid-engine rear-wheel drive, and then now he's trying to get out of the way. Now he's doing the right thing. Get out of the way. He doesn't want to reset to the pits. He wants to burn that fuel and drive back to the pits. So well done getting out of the way as Old Man Pip comes around on his out lap, and he is going to stay out.
Ooh.
So here he starts his flying lap. Is he the only Renault driver?
I believe so.
Maybe.
I have it in front of me. And yeah, he's the only Renault. So good on Old Man Pip. If I know if Lead Pencil was in this, he would also be in the Renault, because that's how Lead Pencil rolls. Oh, as we see another incident with a Lamborghini trying to get out of the way, getting out of Racer 51's way, but then overshooting the corner. Just continuing to get out of the way.
Okay.
So we're dealing with some heavy traffic, and they're not in the they're not on these drivers, but it does distract you. Having a car off to the side messes you up when you're trying to hit that apex and get a lap done. So it can be a challenge when even if the driver gets out of the way. And Vetterdan going around now, the smaller of the two boys. The less. Oh my goodness! Talk about a driver being in the way. Stratos.
Ooh-wee.
These Lamborghinis look to be a handful around here. They just can't seem to catch a break. Both Lambo drivers having issues. I bet he touches a bit too much.
Oh yes.
His front tire got locked into the curb there. And then that spins him around, and good on Vetterdan, but I'm sure that hurt Vetterdan's lap as, terrifying.
Ooh-wee.
Terrifying.
Oh my.
And more traffic as Geezer Gear tries to get around.
Okay.
And there's Racer 51 still on pole with a 1:12.431. But he is on his out lap. Evolve looking to improve. Vetterdan into the pits because that lap was ruined. What does Evolve do? I imagine he stays out. No, Evolved into the pits as well, burning off fuel. They're going to get one more opportunity to make it happen.
All right.
Let's see.
Let's see.
I know Salamander's happy to see a Corvette currently sitting in P2. Let's see as they cross the line. Looks like we're on an outlap with Pablo. Looks like we're on an outlap with Geezer Gears. Racer 51 is on a flyer with a gaggle of cars and another car in the dirt.
That was Leo.
That was Leo in P4. That was before the jump. You would expect Leo to be going for it. Oh, I bet he came out of the pits in traffic. Look, there's a bunch of cars coming up on him right now.
Oh, yeah.
He tries to get out of the way.
Okay.
That's exactly what happened. But now he's still in the dirt and resets to the pits. Racer 51 in the pits as well. Here we go.
Let's see.
Old Man Pip in the Renault, currently sitting P5. What's going to happen as he comes across the end of Sector 2, dips a tiny toe, and he is down 2.5 tenths. You can make up a lot of time in this last corner as Speed Bump starts their, flying lap, but won't be their last. They should be able to get one more. Here comes Old Man Pip around the corner. Yeah, there we go. That's what we like to see. You know it's going to be good if they dip a toe. He'll get 13. He's not going to have. He might have enough time for one more lap if he can get around in a timely manner.
Yeah.
He should be able to get one more on some fresh tires. As Metal gets past Geezer Gears, everyone fighting for track position. This is something we did not see during the week. Was all 14 cars out on track like this. We really didn't see that during the week. It was at most 4 or 5 cars, and we're seeing that track position is playing a factor. It's interrupting some drivers' laps. It's going to be very difficult to see it, and it looks like a lot of drivers back in the pits. 45 seconds to go before the runoff starts. Pablo Jacone, yep, he's going to be the set a time, but he won't have the tires for another lap, unfortunately. And he gets all in it. This could be good if he can keep it straight. Where are you going to be at? Pablo Jacone across the line. Oh, unable to improve as back to the pits. And they look like Iron Fix on a flying lap now. T-Rex Arms going to come across the line.
Okay.
Currently sitting in P9, 1.3 seconds behind pole. Dips a toe. Comes across the line. Where are we going to be? No improvement. I want to say, there we go. Dirt McGirt up to P4 with a big improvement.
Not bad.
Leo's in P5. Is he on a flyer? He is. Can he improve? Speed bump about to come across the line on his final lap. Speed bump currently P8 and cannot improve. Leo currently P5. And he is not improving. I don't see him making up that time in this final turn, but P5, a solid starting position. And from what I'm seeing here, the only car that may be able to do the one stop is the Alpha. So maybe. Because we saw in qualifying, it was not great on tires compared to the McLaren, but better than others. So going to come down to traffic and what's going on. I think a lot of drivers are going to have to kind of do this on the fly. And we're getting a little tell of what people are going to start on.
Yeah.
Racer 51 on the hards. Vetterdan on the hards. Tire check evolved because you're currently on softs. We see Old Man Pip in P7 on the hards. We see Geezer Gears in P10. No, on the mediums. Metal. I said Myrtle. There's no R there. I just put it there with my brain. Metal on the hards. And we saw the majority of drivers start on the hards. Casual, can you take us through the qualifying standings real quick here?
Starting off with our fastest in Split 3 is Racer 51 with a 112.431. And in second, we have Vetterdan with Sal's totally unbiased manufacturer of the Corvette with a 112.784. And then we have in third, rounding out the podium, is Evolved with the Genesis X with a 112.837. And behind that, we got the Dodgy Huracan driven by Dirt McGirt with a 113.019. Then we got Mr. America himself, Leo, in the Mazda RX Vision with a 113.109. And then and Super GT's favorite position, P6, we have Pablo in the Huracan with a 113.466. And behind him, we have AARP Pip, aka Old Man Pip, with the respectable Renault, as he's the only one in the Renault, with a 113.467. We have in eighth, we have our second Canadian speed bump with the Honda NSX with a 113.513. And in ninth, we have Mr. Jurassic Park himself in the Alpha 4C with a 113.752. And rounding the top 10, we have Geezer Gears in the Ferrari with a 113.769. And behind him, we have Root, who is also in the Genesis X with a 113.831. Then we have our final Canadian with the Audi R8 with a 113.918. And then we have Metal with, I think, our only Nissan in split 3.
Split. Yep.
Yeah. With a 114.344. And last but not least, we have Stratos in a Huracan with a 129.713.
Yikes. Well, again, very close qualifying, just slower times because this is split 3. I was kind of surprised to see the top 2 Huracans where they were. Big Joe, any thoughts from qualifying before we start the race?
I think all that traffic hurt a lot of qualifying times, actually.
Yeah, because we know Stratos is not slow.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly, and it just seemed like he couldn't catch a break. That Lambo did look like a handful out there, and then Mr. Casual, you pointed out the only GTR. We did see multiple GTRs have issues in that first race. Any thoughts just about what you saw there in qualifying?
Yeah, it looked like everyone kind of driving kind of like how I would drive it. It was like you're trying to go quick, but you're trying to find that fine line of between being safe enough, but not too safe, but not pushing it too hard. So it's like, yeah, I can understand and I sympathize with everyone that's struggling to find that fine line between the two.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is a challenging track. So we know it is possible for a one stop. However, it is unlikely, especially with the cars we're seeing here. Maybe T-Rex Arms, aka Wesley, can make that happen. Otherwise, we're looking at 2 stops. And we're looking at 2 stops. So it's either going to be hard, medium, or hard, medium. Just depends on how long these tires can last. And we saw some cars could make their hards or their mediums last as long as others' hards could only last. So it's really going to come down to car and driver, not the magazine. As we get underway here, Racer 51 in the Mazda going to get us started as we have a rolling start. 3, 2, 1, blast off, and they're off to the races. Now, we saw single file in the first race. Are we going to see single file again going into turn 1? Turn 1 not being a heavy braking zone kind of allows it to say single file. You see further back, they might be going too wide, but so far, Racer 51 off to a great start. It looks like, everybody's still staying single file. Maybe Racer 51 pulling away a little bit. Racer 51 on the hard tires. Everybody keeping it clean, starting to bunch up there for P3 as we have evolved. Dirt McGirt, Leo, and Pablo Chacon all putting pressure as now they're going too wide further in the background. Are they going to? No, they're keeping it too wide. No, there we go. Dirt McGirt able to pull through. RSR, Pablo Chacon as well, fighting off the threat of Leo as they really pull away. Those top 3 drivers pulling fast and furious away from everybody else. Dirt McGirt starting to pull a little bit on Pablo Chacon as he is still under threat from Leo. and Leo is also under threat. So it's hard to pay attention to the car behind you as we see in the Leo putting the pressure on Pablo Chacon, trying to make the move up into turn 1. He gets it done before the turn. Can Pablo? No, he cannot. He tucks it in as we see Hooters go off. Leo goes off. He gets it back on. That's going to allow Pablo through. Is that going to allow Old Man Pip through? Old Man Pip going around the outside, and there's pressure from Speed Bump from behind. As we see further back, T-Rex Arms battling as well. Old Man Pip is through. Is Speed Bump going to be last of the late? He is late on the brakes. Leo tries to hang it. Leo keeps the inside line. Leo holds on to the position. He managed, that's damage control right there for Leo. As we see Old Man Pip get a little squirrely, but Speed Bump applying the pressure now onto Leo. And he's got T-Rex Arms, Geezer Gears, Root, all behind him.
Yeah, that's quite the gaggle.
Quite the gaggle, indeed, Casual. Quite the gaggle,
Yes,
indeed.
it is.
It is. And Leo holding it off as we see Geezer Gears trying to make a move. Speed Bump putting the pressure on Leo. T-Rex Arms there. Root in the Genesis, the lone Genesis in this group of cars. And they all keep it straight. They keep it on the track. We've seen so much sand kicked up, but everybody has been pointed in the right direction, which is something we didn't quite see in that first race.
I think it was lap 3 where it started kicking off in split 1.
Yeah, true. As we see T-Rex Arms now trying to go around the outside of Speed Bump, tucks back in. Are we going to get a switcheroo? No switcherooski as of yet. On the hard tires. Go ahead, Casual.
Looks like everyone's more or less trying to...
Nope, he's
still looking a little busy behind Wesley. But yeah, I think everyone's trying to feel things out and see who's got pace and who needs to be overtaken.
Yeah, absolutely, you're right. Feeling it out, and that's something I don't think the first split had the advantage of. I think it was all out because everybody knows how fast they are. As T-Rex Arms thinks about, oh no, that allows Root through. Root sneaks up the inside. T-Rex Arms opens the door, and Root says, please and thank you. I will have another. As he moves his way up. Now Root on the racing hards in the Genesis. Let's see that move again here. As, T-Rex Arm just runs a little wide, and Root is able to easily slide on through. I'm sure from Root's point of view that wasn't easy at all, but from ours, it looked pretty easy.
Yeah.
As we move ahead, the battle for P9 is still on.
Yeah.
It is tough, and those are two very different cars. The tiny Alpha and the big old Genesis. Very different cars battling it out. As we look on board with Pablo Chacon in the... Oh, and we see a little toe dip, but everybody's good, as we know. Going through that section is fastest to dip a toe. And Old Man Pip in the Renault with Leo putting pressure on. Unfortunately, Leo fell back all those positions after going off the track after turn 1. And now Stratos making a move there and go back on to T-Rex Arms, able to hold Stratos off in the Lamborghini. Geezer Gears not too far behind, so Stratos getting the move on Geezer Gears. And gets a little wiggly on the curb, and he loses it.
Oh!
That Lambo is a handful. You saw him. Go ahead.
I was going to say, we've seen some of that in qualifying. So it's like,
you can. Absolutely. You'll watch here. He's going to get too much of this inside curb. And then that unsettles the car. And then that left rear on the sand while the other is on the tarmac. Not much you can do there. Unfortunate for Stratos. Hate to see it. Looks like we got a battle for P3 with Dirt McGirt. Oh no, Dirt McGirt gonna... Oh, he almost loses it. Great save from Dirt. That Lambo looks like a handful out there. All three drivers in the Lambo seem to struggle getting onto the power oversteer. Look, he sees the opportunity and just loses it. Has to back out.
Yeah.
And that's going to allow Pablo Chacon to start creeping up.
Yeah, good on him for being able to rein it back in, because, it's like some cars, once they go, it's like, good luck.
Absolutely, and that's what we saw from Stratos in the Lambo. Like, it's really hard to save that car, but Stratos was in a high-speed corner versus Dirt being in the low-speed corners, as it looks like Leo is under threat from Old Man Pip, who we have seen is no slouch in this league. He has been consistently racing. I love all the dirt we're seeing popping up in the background. I gotta say, like, I am on the edge of my seat, and I hope everybody watching is too, because it's like at any moment. So it looks like, has anybody seen anyone on the mediums? I've only been seeing hard tires. As we see a replay here as Vetterdan goes off, his front left is very worn. Is he able to keep it? No, what happened? That looked like some type of disconnect.
Yeah.
As he gets reset, yeah, and he's not moving. That is a technical failure, which in racing, cars stop working. Sometimes your PlayStation stops working. Sometimes your internet stops working. Sometimes your wheel disconnects. That's racing.
All right.
Yeah, Casual. Back to what I was saying. Did you see anybody on the mediums?
Haven't really been looking for.
Geezer
that
Gears.
answered your question.
Classic. So Geezer on the mediums, coming in lap 6. So he'll definitely be doing 2 more stints on the hards, as Vetterdan's having some type of issue.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's family related, animal related, pet related, internet related, but sometimes life gets in the way. Jurassic Park, shout out to you, T-Rex Arms. They say life will find a way. Well, sometimes life will get in the way. As we look on board, Leo chasing down Pablo Chacon. The field is still generally tight. We only have 1 pit stop, and that was Geezer Gears. So Geezer Gears, I imagine, was our only medium runner. And these guys are going to try to take it at least 10 laps if they can.
Yeah,
I think that's what we saw.
Leo looks like he has at least 3 more laps in that front left.
Mm-hmm. And now he's making the move up the inside. He got a much better exit than Pablo Chacon. RSR under threat from Leo. And Leo gets it done. When you get the right exit, it's almost like you have DRS and F1. As Speed Bump and Root go wheel to wheel. Speed Bump around the outside. Can he stay ahead of Root?
Nope.
He's got the inside. And now T-Rex Arms. He's spotting a little opening there, but not quite close enough to capitalize. But he is keeping Speed Bump under threat. Root under threat, as Speed Bump has gotten by Root. And it's one corner after another. When you have these tracks that don't have the heavy braking zones, it is a matter of, if you mess up corner 1, by corner 3, you're under threat. As we see them going wheel to wheel, Evolved and Dirt McGirt, 2 dipping their toes in the dirt, and Evolved's tires are done. I imagine he goes in the pit this lap. We'll see if Dirt McGirt does the same. No, Dirt's got much better tires. Seems the MR cars are better on tires around here than the FR cars. As we see Evolve, yes, surely goes into the pits. Leo stays out, and he is under pressure from Pablo Chacon. Let's see here. As, nope, able to keep it together. As they come into the small boy, the lesser of the 2. Able to maintain that lead, but that front left is screaming like the eagle on his car.
Question is, will he risk an extra lap, or will he play it safe?
Knowing Leo, he will play it safe, but Root now getting back past Speed Bump, which allows T-Rex Arms 2-for-1 special. Well, I guess it wasn't very special for Speed Bump, but for Root and T-Rex Arms, that was ideal. And I love when you're following a battle. T-Rex Arms, we'll watch it again. Look, he's just watching. He's saying, I'll just wait. Root up the inside. Oh, you know what? I'll follow you through here. Thank you very much. Leave that door open a little bit more. Thank you. Thank you. Excuse me. And there we go. Following them through, making the overtake. Actually, that was a pretty challenging overtake because they did want to close the door, but T-Rex Arms was there. As we see a mass of drivers dive into the pit on those hards, most likely going to mediums now, and we'll see 2 stints on the mediums from those drivers. As Racer 51 continues to stay out on the hards, one more lap, he has a 9.5 second lead on Dirt McGirt. We'll see him come in the pits as well for a set of mediums, I would guess.
I think he could probably do another
hard
lap.
stint?
Or
just another lap.
Yeah.
Okay. Dirt McGirt's tires are looking great. He's got at least another lap in, if not 2, which could make the I mean, it could make the one stop viable for Dirt. Dirt could be one stop in it. The way they've been driving really well. Racer 51 into the pits. I imagine Dirt McGirt is going to stay out. Oh, and
on lap 6.
Was that what happened? Was he the one on the mediums that pitted early?
I believe so.
T-Rex is still out on the hards.
Yeah. So he's going to risk it. Yeah, that end of the lap is going to be painful. Because I've done like daily race? No, it probably was the World Series races where I've had a tire basically be on the sliver, and it's really painful.
Yeah, it really is, because you have to brake so much earlier, especially when it's the front tire, right? Like when it's the rear tire, you just be gentle on the throttle, but when it's the front tire, like it won't.
Yeah, it's like if your braking zone is at like a 150 board, it's like if that front is dead, then you literally need to like, what I said, 150 for the regular. It's like almost like the 230 mark.
Indeed, yeah, you got to make big adjustments. It's kind of like when the track's drying out or the track's getting wetter. As it looks like Leo now, we saw Pablo Chacon dip a toe in the dirt there, and Leo is now applying the pressure as T-Rex Arms and Evolved are going around.
This is going to be painful because his front left is dead.
Yep, it is that he's not making that turn. He's headed straight to the pits, and that actually worked out really well for him. Evolved will take P2. Racer 51 back into P1. Dirt McGirt, P3.
Okay.
Leo stays out, still applying the pressure to Pablo. Really being relentless. Just ever present in his mirrors. Very fresh mediums. And we saw the Mazda is pretty good on those tires, surprisingly so.
Yeah. Using TC and counter steer and stability probably helps the tire a bit more.
Absolutely. As he continues to apply the pressure, he needs to get a move done. I think it seems like Pablo's slowing him down, but he's just not seeing a clear place to pass because it seems like at every apex he's almost touching him. So can he potentially perform some type of switcheroo here as they're going in? Pablo running wide. He knows it's a late apex. Yeah, we all know what happened there. And he's going to try to go. Yep, and now he's got the inside. He's got the overspeed. Oh, and Leo's on the mediums and Pablo is on the hards. That makes more sense as well. So Pablo Chacon definitely holding him up, allowing Leo through.
Because Leo needs to get on through since he's on the softer tire.
Exactly, and he will, I would assume, is going to pit again, but maybe not. It's hard to keep track of these things. So much is happening. As Pablo Chacon has now improved his personal best lap time, but he does have Root right behind him in the Genesis as we look on board with Dirt McGirt on the fresh mediums. Gonna try to take those to the end, I imagine. So we see a big kick up of dirt in the background. Love to see it. Dirt McGirt has improved half a second on his fastest time. Current fastest lap is Racer 51 with a 1:13.087. And at this moment, when we have a slight break in the action, if you are interested in the GT PHG WS, this is Season 2, Round 3. There is a link pinned in the chat. So easy for you to click on. Go ahead and click on it. Check out the website. Get all the information that is needed and join us. This is a lot of fun. Also, Salamander is producing this. He is running the cameras. He is doing the behind the scenes. This is his channel. If you're enjoying what you see, please like and subscribe as Evolved almost goes off and Dirt McGirt now sniffing at a P2. He wants it. It's there. He knows Evolved is under pressure. Ooh, he wants to dip down the inside. Unable to. Does Evolved push it too hard? He gets in the sand. No, he's okay. And they live to fight another day. So as I was saying, please like and subscribe to Salamander's channel. He's oh so close to 500. We would love to see it. I am T-Case. I am joined by Mr. Casual and Big Joe, aka PHG Smokey. And we are having a great evening tonight, wouldn't you say, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's been quite a race so far. And
Evolved into the pits.
there goes the Evolve. So, okay. And Dirt's looking pretty good in P2 right now with his tires.
And Leo in P3 now. So Racer 51 commanding this race, much like we saw Jorge. No surprise there. We know what these guys are capable of. But we're seeing the medium hard strategies paying off. We imagine Leo's going to definitely come in again. Vetterdan, unfortunately, after an amazing start, had all those disconnect, whatever it was that's been plaguing Vetterdan. He is now lap traffic. He needs to get out of the way of Racer 51. What's happened? Yes, he does. And we've seen this in qualifying. Drivers trying to get out of the way turns into drivers going off into the sand. It's tough for Vetterdan. He had a lot of promise there, and unfortunately some technical issues caused him to drop back the order.
I wonder if Racer 51, if he does end up winning, I wonder if he'll want some maple syrup or some poutine.
Knowing Racer, I think he would like some maple syrup as Root takes the opportunity to go into the pits.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing around this track is if you're wanting to go into the pits, you can push it all out here to minimize time loss.
Pretty much.
But actually, he's kind of staying out of the way, and then, that front left is dead. I'm sure he was full lock and now just trying to get into the pits.
All right. He managed to survive. Yeah, we've seen that. I forget who it was, but someone else had a similar situation.
Yeah, earlier in the race. And it's like, just take full... was it T-Rex Arms? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was somebody else.
But
we see Evolved in P7, T-Rex Arms P8. Behind him, Iron Fix. It's so interesting because these guys are in tight battles with each other, and then they're on different strategies, and then they all pit and spread out. And Papa confirms it was T-Rex Arms. I just assumed that my memory was garbage, but Papa confirmed that it was not. Thank you, sir. The proprietor, if you will. And Old Man Pip P4. Leo in the pits now on those mediums for his final stint. I think we're going to see a few more drivers have to hop into the pits before this is over. We are on lap 17 of 25. Remember, both racing hards and racing mediums are required. So at minimum, 1 pit stop. But in most of these cars, it's going to take 2 pit stops. As we've seen the majority of drivers taking the second, if not a third, pit stop, just depending on what your strategy is. As now Pablo Chacon, who is? Oh no, that's Vetterdan. That's Vetterdan. Lap traffic. Okay. But they can still use each other's slips.
Oh yeah.
Vetterdan doesn't want to be lapped by another driver, but he knows he can't fight back. But at least he can tuck in here now with Pablo Chacon and try not to lose any more positions to lap traffic. He needs to not fight back, but it's hard to do as he does fight back. He does not want to be lapped. I would say ignoring blue flags. And that puts Pablo Chacon now. That's going to allow Old Man Pip to catch back up. I would say Vetterdan needs to get out of the way from these drivers who are on the lead lap. But that is up to the stewards to decide.
Yeah.
I purposefully am not a steward because I don't want no part of that. And I just want to speak my opinion about what I'm seeing. So take that. That has allowed Old Man Pip to catch up to Pablo Chacon quite a bit. That is going to be a bit of a frustration.
Yeah, Old Man looks like he'll be in this lap.
Yeah, Old Man Pip will pit, which will alleviate the pressure from Pablo Chacon. As Racer 51 now back in the pits on the mediums. Gonna finish this race on the mediums.
All right.
I don't see him losing a position because the pit stop is so fast here. He's already back out on the course. No position lost.
Okay. There goes. Yep.
Old Man Pip's doing another lap.
Okay.
All right. He's staying
He's
out.
gonna risk it.
This is a risky track to risk it.
Yeah. It's like it's one of those tracks that you don't really gain much. But if you can gain that little bit and someone else plays it safe, then it can work out. But it's like you need it to go just right for you.
Yeah, and it's such a short lap, too. It really is a short lap. It's just over a minute long. So anytime you add on to that, it really hurts. It really hurts by having it off. As we do have a battle here for P4, Leo T-Rex arms on the back of Speed Bump, and not too far behind is Pablo Chacon. Can Leo Speed Bump on those hards, I imagine, will pit again. I don't see him taking that to the end, which Leo just pit. I believe Leo's going to the end, so that's P4 for Leo. Dirt McGirt in the pits in P2, but T-Rex arms now under pressure from Pablo Chacon. Pablo, T-Rex needs to pit. Yep. There's a bit of contact there, but that is clearly due to T-Rex arms having no grip. And there's T-Rex in the pits. Old Man Pip in the pits. Speed Bump in the pits. That Leo's going to finish P3. Vetterdan gets out of the way. I understand Vetterdan wanting to race, but unfortunately, it's a Nicholas Latifi situation. And not that you drive like Nicholas Latifi, you just happen to be in that place. I have the utmost respect for Vetterdan. Racer 51 on lap 20 in the lead by 17.5 seconds. Just cruising on in that Mazda, making it look good. And you know what? The Group 3 Mazda is looking real good with Racer 51 P1, Leo P3. Dirt McGirt in the Lambo in P2. Leo cruising medium tires. P3 looking very nice. Pablo Chacon P4 on the mediums. Not going to need to pit.
Yeah, it looks like everyone's spread out.
Yep. Root on the hards. It'll be interesting to see what evolves on. Because if Root's on the hard and evolves on the medium, which he is, but it's dead. He's got to pit. No, he stays out. He stays out one more lap, but he's going to have to pit. I was going to say Evolve could put the pressure, but Old Man Pip on fresh mediums, not that far behind Root. So we could see Old Man Pip put the pressure on to, who was I saying? Evolve, thank you. And then we got Speed Bump on some fresh mediums. And I am seeing in the chat, wheel disconnect. Indeed, much like an engine failure or just a mechanical issue on track. Sometimes it happens with our equipment. Dan Mage with the wheel disconnect. It makes perfect sense. That's what we were seeing. Hate to see it, but Evolve now on Old Man Pip on Evolved on Old Man Pip. Speed bump right behind. Evolved up and stays in P6. Old Man Pip applying the pressure now in the Renault. He's going to have the inside for the big one. And Speed Bump is just going to sit back and wait for their opportunity. Can they do what T-Rex Arms did? Yes, it's looking like they can. Having the inside line, double inside, that pushes Evolved out. And he's got a pit as well. So that moves Old Man Pip and Speed Bump and T-Rex Arms all up a position. Will Iron Fix be able to move up as well? I believe so. So that puts Iron Fix in P9, Evolved in P10, and they should be able to come out still in the P10. Wow.
All right.
This has been
towards the end of this race, and yeah, short of a mistake, looks like it's Racer 51's race to lose.
And Racer 51 lapping even more drivers as Metal goes off, and that's a horrible place to go off because there's that weird barrier right there. Where are you supposed to go? Why is that there? Hate to see that for Metal, but that is showing Racer 51's pace as he has lapped more than one driver. Speed Bump currently in P7, chasing down Old Man Pip. Wants that position. He used Old Man Pip to help him get through Evolved, who had to pit, and has no pressure really from T-Rex Arms behind. That looks like there might be a couple other battles on track, but that is one of our closest battles on track as we start lap 23, as Pablo Chacon still pursuing Leo.
Yeah.
Leo in P3, Pablo Chacon in P4. What are you seeing here, Casual?
Yeah, it looks like Pablo's trying to keep a Leo ahead of him on. He don't want to just let him have a comfortable podium. He's probably hoping to make sure that Leo doesn't just put it in cruise control.
Right.
As they say, it's not over until it's over, so to finish. To finish, you need to finish first. So we'll see if Leo can be Mr. Consistency or if Pablo can take advantage. Well,
as Pablo Chacon runs ride, but he gets back on. I want to point out, let me go back through how this race started. Racer 51 in P1, Vetterdan in P2, Evolved in P3, Dirt McGirt in P4, who is currently P2, Leo in P5, who is currently P3, then Pablo Chacon, Old Man Pip, and Speed Bump. So we've had quite the mix-up in the order. I go through, then we have T-Rex Arms P9, Geezer Gears 10, Root 11, Iron Fix 12th, Metal a 13th, and Stratos 14th. So Stratos has moved up 2 positions. Metal is where they started. Geezer Gears has fallen back 1 position. Root has moved up from P11 to P5.
Pretty good. So, that's similar to what Shaggy did.
Shaggy, yeah, absolutely. I'm liking Leo's move from P5 to P3, making it work. Dirt from P4 to P2. Really good. Old Man Pip, P7, he moves up to P6. And Pablo Chacon from P6 to P4. So a lot of drivers moved up a couple positions. Root moved up a lot of positions. Unfortunately, Evolved and Vetterdan fell back quite a bit.
All right, we're on the final lap. Okay.
As Racer 51, and then we got Dirt McGirt. Racer 51 with 21 seconds on Dirt. Dirt 5 seconds on Leo. Leo almost 2 seconds on Pablo. Pablo almost 7 seconds on Root. Root 2 seconds on Old Man Pip. Just 1 second on Speed Bump, and then 2 seconds to T-Rex Arms. Unfortunately, Evolved falling all the way back down to P9 as Racer 51 crosses the line. He has the fastest lap and the win. Then we have Dirt McGirt moving up from P4 to P2. Very solid job by Dirt. I think he had a great race there.
Yeah.
Coming across the line. But I mean, what a gap Racer 51 had.
Yeah.
That was a big gap.
Yeah, 21 and a half.
And then we got Leo up into P3 from P5 to P3. Not too far behind Pablo Chacon. Pablo up from P6. Then we have Root with the biggest gain of them all is Root. Well done. Followed so close by Old Man Pip. Then Speedburner. Then T-Rex Arms. Man, it's got to be so hard to be so close and then, you're on the last lap. Then we get Evolved, who unfortunately fell down the order. Iron Fix in P10. Last left to finish is Geezer Gears because the others were a lap down. Unbelievable. 3 drivers a lap down.
My.
Much more calmer race, too, than the first one.
Yeah, it got crazy, and then there was like moments of crazy. It was when the strategies would overlap. And Mr. Canada wins it, pole position, clean race, fastest lap. That is Racer 51. Big Joe, will you read us through the standings?
Sure. In first place, we have Racer 51. Second place, we have Dirt McGirt. Third place is Leo. Fourth place is Pablo Chacon. Finishing out the top 5 is Root. In 6th, we've got Old Man Pip. In 7th, we have Speed Bump. In 8th, we have T-Rex Arms. 9th, we have Evolved. And finishing out our top 10 is Iron Fix. Then we have Geezer Gears in 11th. Stratos in 12th. Metal in 13th. And Vetterdan was a do not finish.
It's so unfortunate for Vetterdan. He started P2. He had so much promise. Technical difficulties do happen. Unfortunately, it happened to Vetterdan. And
there's nothing you can do about it.
There's nothing that's racing. And that's one thing with these leagues is some people will be like, well, it's not fair. My internet disconnect. It's like, but also it's not fair when your motor breaks down or your suspension breaks. Yeah. Like it's sometimes it just doesn't work out and it sucks and that's unfortunate, but that's racing. Exactly. And I'm going to go ahead and say my driver of the day of this race is Root. But for the same reason I picked Shaggy, I love a guy that can just make up positions like that. That is fantastic. Their on board of that replay has to be phenomenal, much like Shaggy's probably was. So I'm going to say my driver of this race is Root. How about you, Big Joe? And also any reflections on the race that you have.
My driver of the day, I'll just go with the winner.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Dominant.
Yes, dominant performance.
Indeed. And how about yourself, Mr. Casual?
After watching the race, and I totally would have given it to Leo, but I didn't see no jumps, so I'm going to have to give it to Root.
Oh, man, Leo. Well, you know what? We'll say Leo as well, just to be fair. We got Racer 51, we got Leo, we got Root, and we'll let if Salamander wants to chime in. Oh, it looks like Shaggy's got the poll in, but Salamander, you've been watching, and don't forget to unmute your mic. You've been watching both races. You've been managing this broadcast, getting us with the replays. I really want to hear your take on these races.
It's been really busy for me behind the scenes here, trying to keep the camera going, but it was kind of what we expected. There was a lot of excitement. There wasn't a lot of door banging, which was really nice to see. I was afraid that with this track having such a little margin of error that the slightest little taps would send people off flying. And it seemed to be that all of them that happened were self-inflicted. But that's just kind of the way it goes at Willow. It's one of those where you know, kind of like Nerb, it's one that can come out and bite you, especially when you least expect it. And we saw some of that, but we also saw some really good tight racing. I mean, there were packs of 4 and 5 cars going around lap after lap, so it was really exciting to watch from my vantage point.
It really was, and I think we have Leo in here, a fellow commentator, but also P3 in this race. Leo, if you want to give us a few words, we'd love to hear it.
Of course, man. I'm glad it's over with. This is not one of my favorite tracks, but solidly impressed on how I did. Very little practice, I'll say that. Maybe 20, 30 laps, maybe, at that most. Maybe.
You looked great out there, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Based on our conversations we've had this week, I was shocked when all the pits were over and you were in P3. I was like, oh snap! Not that I didn't think you could do it, but based on preparation, I was very surprised. That was awesome.
I was too. I mean, I practiced with Papa yesterday, and I went, oh, that's how many times you got to pit? Okay. The one stopper is not going to work for the Mazda.
No.
And learned that lesson real quickly. So, but man, there was some great racing. I can't. Is it Old Man Pip and RSR Pablo. Man, that's some close racing. I ain't had that in a while, and I was like, okay. Got our hands full. I was sitting there struggling managing my tires because I was killing them in this thing.
Exactly, and that's what we were seeing. You weren't the only one. There were clusters, there's 3 different clusters the whole time of drivers. You know, it was a matter of managing your tires versus pushing for position. And then we got to see several drivers wait for the car they were following to make the move up the inside, and then just follow up the inside, and the driver who got pushed to the outside couldn't do anything about it and would lose 2 positions. So we saw a lot of that multiple times. So it was good stuff.
Yeah, it's always exciting to see, especially like Sal was saying, no door banging, people aren't just crashing into each other. There's space afforded everywhere. Everybody's track situational awareness was great. There was no shenanigans, and yes, I know in the race I didn't hit the jump. I'm sorry,
but it's okay. Busy. Other people hit various jumps tonight.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and look.
Yeah, on accident. Some reset in the middle of jumping, but there were definitely some. I lost control and hit a jump.
360 kickflip in the first race.
Yeah, we had a 360 kickflip.
Oh, yeah, Fast Cougar did that one. That one was impressive.
Oh, it was a full on spin into the dip and then up and then spin again. So it's there. Just go back and watch.
Yeah, that comeback from Fast Cougar after that was amazing.
Yeah.
So Sal, I expect a compilation of jumps.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Well, that is round 3 Friday splits in the books. That is split 1 and 3. That means tomorrow on my channel, we will have splits 2 and 4. And it looks like Root really dominated and took driver of that race. Well done, Root. Root with 55%, Leo 22%, Racer 51, 11, and Dirt McGirt 11. So yes, tomorrow we will have splits 2 and 4. It is going to be a great time. It'll be on my channel. And now that I say that, I'm forgetting who is joining me.
Tuzzenbox and Mr. Casual will be back.
Mm-hmm. Yes, we will have Mr. Casual back and Tuzzenbox for tomorrow. I am T-Case. You guys know me. I want to say a big thank you to Big Joe. Big Joe, if you want to say any final remarks, please.
Thanks for having me. Great racing, and y'all have a good night.
Awesome. Thank you, Big Joe. And you too, Mr. Casual. I'll see you tomorrow, but you can say goodnight to the lovely people watching.
Yeah, I'll leave with this. I think with all the talking you're going to be doing this week, we should start a GoFundMe for emergency ventilator for you.
Thank you, Mr. Casual. Well, it's great having. Yeah, I got some tea. I got some throat coat tea, a few things, but no, having you and Big Joe has been great. Having Tuzzenbox tomorrow is going to be great. Leo, great driving. We'll let you say a good night to all.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for the awesome racing, and thank you guys for the broadcast. I wasn't expecting what time I was going to get home, so that's why I wasn't up here in the booth with these guys. So it's cool to see everybody stepping up and trying something new.
Yeah,
like Big Joe, Mr. Casual. I appreciate it, and I'll see y'all the next go around.
Yay. Indeed. It is a big help to have these people, and we have a few others who will be joining us throughout this season. I'm going to say a quick reminder, link in the chat for the website. Check it out. Please, again, like and subscribe to Salamander's page. You can see my page or channel, my channel, Big Joe's channel, Mr. Casual's channel. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight and then pass it over to whose channel we are on, Salamander, and I'll let him close us out for the evening. So thank you, Sal. You did a great job tonight. Thank you all. Y'all are awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you, T-Case, and all you guys doing the broadcast. Big Joe, Mr. Casual. Thanks, Leo, for dropping in. Thanks to Shaggy for putting this league on. Thanks for Papa for building this community. This was a lot of fun. As T-Case mentioned, the usual YouTube stuff. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. Come on back. I like to do these broadcasts where we get to show off what this league's about and really kind of put on a show. So really look forward to doing that. Hoping to see everybody again. As T-Case mentioned, hit his channel up. Go look it up right now. Go subscribe to it. He's going to be doing this broadcast tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. I guarantee it. So until then, everybody have a good night, and we'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out. All right, we're clear. Way to go. Man, I really miss having the second commentator in there to help find some of that stuff. There were a number of times where I'm like jumping, and it's like,
the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Traveler's dream. But stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the better of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Better people. Oh, baby. Better people. The engine's roaring life in the fast lane. PHG, we the name, tearing up the game. Thunder on the track, speed never go lack. Pushing limits, breaking barriers, ain't looking back. Tires screaming as we take that turn. Fuel and fire in our hearts we burn. Opponents in the mirror, they can't keep up. Keep the throttle down, never wanna let up. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Team strong, bonds like no other. Brothers, sisters, ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we roll the steeple. Great racers, better people. the sisters ain't no undercover. Victory sweet, but honor even sweeter. Every race together makes the fight deeper. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise again. For the banner of PHG flies our friend. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Great racers, yeah, better people. Rising like a phoenix, ain't no sequel. PHG, baby, we rule the steeple. Great racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Good racers, better people. Great racers, better people. Crowds chant as the lights go green. Adrenaline rush, it's a traveler's dream. Might stumble, fall, but we rise